Well, hello there, everyone. Hopefully, you're doing absolutely fantastic. It is a Friday. What's that saying? It's Friday, finally Friday. And the date is September the 16th in the year of 2022. Hopefully, you're doing outstanding. And remember, as always, I'm Mazske Finance. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a YouTube guru. I'm just a blue collar guy who was never an attorney, never a CPA. Even though way back when I did go to college while in the Navy, got a business degree in business with they call it a concentration, kind of like a minor, in accounting. But I never worked in accounting, never became a CPA. So anyway, there you go. You just learned a little bit more about me. I'm all about sharing a lot of things to help you out, but I'm not going to share too much about me per se. So anyway, let's see. I've been busy today. I've had texting and emailing and scanning, typing some stuff to a young lady who is a writer for Business Insider. She has so graciously decided she wants to do some sort of article with me about my investing journey, which is kind of cool, kind of fascinating in a way. So anyway, I've typed up some stuff for her, sent it to her. I'm in the process of getting some other stuff and sending it to her because it's a national publication, so they need to confirm stuff. Like, do you know 100% positively I have all the investments I talk about and that I truly was a blue collar guy who made very little money but yet now is a multimillionaire? Do you? Okay. You don't, unless you're some of my friends, because you don't know me. But you can probably guess from all my videos, you can figure it out that I'm not making all this stuff up. And so anyway, that's a national publication. She's out on the West Coast, so they need to confirm some things. So anyway, it is what it is. So with that being said, a couple things here. How does Mazske do things? How do I do things? You may recall, I think, earlier in the week, I made a video, and in it I mentioned, because I mentioned a lot of stuff in my videos, I mentioned I was going to go out to get lunch and use a certain credit card. It was a Hilton, American Express Hilton Aspire card. They have a Hilton dining program, and if you spend $25 on a meal, you can get 1,000 points. And you also, Hilton dining will give you 5 points. Because of that, 5 points per dollar spent. And then the credit card for eating out will give you 7 points. So it'll be a total of 12 points plus 1,000 points. And I think I used the example, if I got a $30 meal for two of us, which is probably very conservative to get lunch anywhere for $30, unless it's even McDonald's might be $20. That would be 30 times 12, which is 360 plus 1,000. So it'd be 1,360 points. Not a ton of points. It's not like getting a sign-up bonus of 100,000 points, but it's something. And then if I get to a certain establishment, I have the Get Upside app. I could actually, if one of the Get Upside restaurants are on the Hilton Dining, I might be able to get 5, 6, or 7% back through Upside. So, but anyway, we canceled going out for lunch today. I made a big lunch yesterday. A pot of brown rice. I had a package of ground turkey, and I fried it up with a sliced onion and green pepper and some herbs and spices and stuff. And of course, hot sauce and some cheese. But we had, leftovers, so I had that for lunch. I'm still quite full. I don't eat it near as much as I used to. That's why I lost 20 pounds, roughly, by mainly cutting out sugar, but also eating smaller portions. All right. So anyway, then I cleaned my pool filter. It's one of those big cylinder type filters, almost like a missile. Took that out and cleaned that this morning. I've been down on my dock this morning, chilling out. And then again, like emailing and texting, and I got more stuff to do. So anyway, I also sent my contact to Business Insider a picture of my dock and tiki hut and a picture of my kayak and stuff. And I never want to come across as I'm bragging. The point of everything I do with this channel, and even with that article, I want to emphasize the point that I've been frugal all of my life. Even from when I was a kid, I was frugal. That helped me since I never made a lot of money. Okay, knowing what I know now, I would have changed things back then. I would have made more money. I would have enjoyed life just a little bit more, spent a little bit more perhaps. But doing what I did worked out for me. I still enjoyed life. I raised two great kids that both became officers in the United States Coast Guard. And I have successfully moved from my small, now renovated house in Virginia to a bigger, nicer house with a swimming pool and on a Gulf access water body with a dock and a tiki hut here in Southwest Florida. So how did I do that? I watched you know who Jerry Seinfeld is? I'm sure you do, Seinfeld. He has a show on Netflix. I think it's stopped now. Comedians in cars getting coffee. And I watched an episode last night. It was him with Tracy Morgan. Tracy Morgan's another comedian slash actor. And Tracy lives in a gigantic house. I forget where, I guess in California somewhere. And Jerry had a Ferrari, 1984 Ferrari that he drove to pick him up. Nice car. And then they made, what do you say, 177 of them, and all were red except for one, which was black. And powerful. But anyway, him and Tracy were joking around, talking inside the house, outside. And when they're standing outside, Tracy made a comment. He's like, you know, sometimes I wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning. This is what Tracy said. I'll paraphrase. He goes, sometimes I wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and I walk outside like I am now. And I look and I'm like, who the blank lives in this beautiful house? And I heard that and I'm like, I get it. I understand. I do the same thing. Sometimes I look up, not in this room, but out that way in my living room. And I got like 15-foot ceilings out there. And I look up. Or I look out the window, right down there. There's a dock and a tiki hut. And it's like, who lives in this house? Wait a second, it's Mazske. How? How does Mazske live here? You know how, if you watch my channel, you know how Mazske lives here. Mazske was frugal all his life. Mazske started investing in mutual funds around age 22 and while living in the country of Panama. In 1999, while living in Virginia, he found out about investing in individual stocks, sold his mutual funds, bought individual stocks. From 2005 to 2018, he took that money, which wasn't very much. In 1999, he had $16,000. By 2001, that $16,000 was cut in half, about to $8,000 from the dot-com crash. So 2001 had approximately $8,000. That was only, 21 years ago. $8,000 in 2001. 2005, I subscribed to Stock Advisor on the Motley Fool. And from 2005 to 2018, I had an 18% return with my stocks. Along the way, I did sell my Netflix stock and renovate my basement. Netflix had a big gain for me. So I renovated my basement in that house in Virginia. 2019, 2020, I had about 100% return averaged over both years, meaning one year was like 110, one year was 90, or 120 and 80, but it was averaged out about 100% for each year, 2019, 2020. But by the time 2020 ended, I was, I believe, mostly out of stocks. Not 100% out of stocks, but I was getting out of them. But what stocks I had left, they did do well. But I was getting out of them because I was buying real estate. And I found out real estate is the way to create wealth because you can use other people's money. Because I got a HELOC to help me get my first house. HELOC was $30,000. I used about $17,000-ish to help me to buy that first house. So it wasn't my money. It was the bank's money. Yes, it was my money. I had paid my house off. So it was my money that way. But it wasn't cash I had saved in the bank. Okay? And even when I bought my second house, that HELOC assisted me in some fashion. I don't know if I remember the exact number or if I can find it in any of the paperwork. I don't know. But I'm thinking it was $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000. I used it a third time to buy my first house in Alabama. Again, a small amount, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000. I forget exactly. And again, don't know if I can confirm exactly what I used. I also bought a triplex in the beginning of 2018 because I had retired from being a police officer. Had saved all 20 years in a 457 plan. So for 20 years, $50 a paycheck sometimes it was 75, sometimes it might have been 25 because I change the amount because sometimes money got really tight, but I always kept saving. And it grew to about $65,000. When I paid federal tax and state tax, when I cashed it out, I got out approximately $45,000. And that was approximately my down payment and closing cost on I think it was $199,900 to buy the triplex, $199,500, something like that, to buy the triplex. So 20% down payment is roughly 40 grand plus. I used a credit union, so I think closing costs were about 8 grand. And 5 grand came from that money, and I guess 3 grand came from our pockets, shall we say. Whoops, sorry, I bumped my little stand. So anyway, real quick here, this is how Maskey's brain works. I've been debating getting a computer, a desktop computer. I've had 3 desktop computers in my life. Got my first one back in 1995. Spent $2,500 to get that first desktop computer. That was through Gateway. I bought a second desktop computer sometime after that. And then I bought a third desktop computer sometime after that. I think I got 3 altogether. 2 or 3. I'm pretty sure it's 3. And then I've been without a desktop computer now for 4 or 5 years. And I have a cheap Google Chromebook. It's an Acer model. It cost me like $200. And it's not that good. I have this cell phone and I have a tablet. And I was debating getting a desktop computer. But when I bought my computers before, I used to be an electronics technician. I know technology. I bought nice computers. I could do a lot of stuff with them. So I was looking at computers last night, and I was messaging Millennial Mike, getting his opinion, because he's younger. He's a millennial. And he's more familiar with newer technology than I am. Plus, he has a more successful YouTube channel than I do. So I was asking him his opinion on some things. But then today I was looking at him again. I came really close to buying one from Dell. Because I was going to use that same American Express card, and it would give me a $120 credit if I buy a computer from Dell, and then give me 1 extra point for every dollar I spend, plus the normal 1 point. So it'd be like 2 points per dollar I spent that I could get for buying a computer. But then I was like, I don't know exactly when it will come. We are going to do some traveling here soon where we're flying out up to Maryland. And also, I need to use PowerPoint. So I would have to get like Windows, the Windows bundle, Microsoft Windows, the bundle to get PowerPoint. But then it hit me. Goofy me, it hit me. My tablet's Google. I have Google Sheets on there. Google Sheets is comparable to PowerPoint. It can be saved, I believe, as a PowerPoint program. We need this because the missus is in a class and she has to do a PowerPoint. So we found a way to do it without having to buy another computer. So for the time being, we're going to hold off buying a computer. If I did buy a computer, though, it would be a tax write-off because it would be used almost 100%, except for that one PowerPoint, 100% in my investing business. My real estate, my oil, my mineral rights, everything would be used in all of that. Let's say primarily the real estate, because it's a business expense. Because I'm an entrepreneur, I got a business. Just like if you buy real estate, you're an entrepreneur, and you now have a business. You're a business owner. You provide housing for society. All right. So yes, you're helping yourself, but you're helping others because you're providing housing. Never forget that. Never forget you're providing housing for others by buying real estate. All right. Also, never forget I mentioned this in another video. As you build your wealth, because you will start building wealth. As you build your wealth, figure out how you can give back to society in some way. All right, we all can help. We all got to give back. We all grew up differently. Some grew up poor, some grew up wealthy. But if we become wealthy, we got to give back. While we're pursuing that journey, you can donate time in some fashion. Maybe you can be like me and donate time to make videos to try to help other people out. Because I spend a lot of time on this channel trying to help you guys out. If I ever get monetized, which I got a long ways to go to get monetized, and I start drawing an income from this, then I will figure out another way to give back because now I'm getting paid for this. Maybe in the beginning I might get paid cents or $1, but maybe it will build. If it ever does build, I will determine when I'm not working for free or near free, and then I will figure out if I have the time. I will figure out, I've done it already in my working career, and I always try to help people. I try to help neighbors nowadays and strangers sometimes that I talk to. I try to help to get started. Hopefully the article that's done on me in Business Insider will help somebody to get started. So anyway, I got a lot to do today, so I'm going to wrap this up. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. A little bit of rambling from Mazske. Have a great day. Mazke's signing out.